Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Homeschool Minnesota. My name is Dale Annan. I'm so glad that you guys are with us today. Homeschool Minnesota is a podcast outreach sponsored by MACHE, Minnesota Association of Christian Home Educators. We are so glad you guys are with us. Today is the yearly episode that a lot of people get excited about, and it's our episode on our convention for 2026. So you guys all, if you can see her, you know who she is. Karen Sowingson. If you aren't watching on YouTube, you're just going to have to trust me that she's here with me. We are talking everything convention from the woman who puts it all together from the beginning to the end with a team. It's not just her. She's very good about making sure everybody knows it's a team effort. But we are so glad to have Karen with us. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Dale. And actually, people don't know from seeing me, they know from hearing me because this is the first time it's a visual.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it hasn't been visual before. So you guys
No.
get to see beautiful Karen. We love her. And we're so excited to have her with us. And tell us how long you've been working with MACHE and how long you've been doing the convention.
So with MACHE, I've been part of MACHE since 2002.
It's a long time.
I've done a lot of different roles in MACHE. The convention directorship did not come around until 2019. I was shadowing Linda Watkins, who was a phenomenal convention director to be following. She did an amazing job for 18 years, I believe. So
Wow.
yeah, and she not a single MACHE convention was missed, and she forged through blizzards and snowstorms and speakers that their flights didn't arrive. So lots of things that she did. So I am following in big footsteps.
You're doing a great job. For those of you who've been to conventions since then, you know that Karen does a wonderful job as well. Okay, so this is a lot of information we're going to be handing to you guys. This is all the stuff that you've been like asking on social media when you see the posts like registration's about to open. You're like, we'd like to know who the speakers are. Well, guess what? Today you're going to find out. So first we're going to start talking though about why. Why is MACHE convention important? Why go to your local, your state org's homeschool convention? Because there's a lot of opportunities out there to go to other ones. But Karen, tell us why, first of all, why does a homeschool family want to come to the MACHE convention?
Well, first and foremost, you get to come and be with fellow like-minded homeschoolers, whether you are brand new and you're just contemplating homeschool or you've been homeschooling for years. This is a place where you feel like you're home again. There is one family I know of that I see once a year at the convention. We homeschooled our kids together in the early years, but I don't ever see them because they moved north, and I live in the Twin Cities. And so it's kind of like old home week that you get to visit.
Yeah.
I get to visit with them when they come to the convention, which is such a blessing. But more so than that, there's so many great options out there for you to go to conventions, and each convention has its own niche of what they have to offer. Most conventions have your basic speakers, exhibit halls. But what's key to going to your state homeschool organizational convention is that your homeschool organization is run by volunteers. And Dale explains that all the time when she goes out and talks to groups. It's a volunteer organization. And
Mhm.
that organization, our primary goal in MACHE is to protect the freedoms of Minnesota homeschoolers. So any funding, any money that we raise with silent auction, anything like that goes into supporting our team going to the Capitol for Capitol Day and going in and reading the bills with the legislature. And so it's just key that if someone's going to come behind you and support you if there's ever a problem in your homeschooling, your state organization is the one is behind that. And the convention is a big proponent to being able to fund that. So that is a huge reason to support your local state homeschool organizational convention.
Yeah.
And more than that, like Dale was saying, we've got wonderful speakers. You're going to learn nuggets of information, whether you're a veteran homeschooler, a new homeschooler. There's something for everyone on the docket. We try to have the most balanced workshop options. One of the feedbacks I hear every year is it's too many options. This year we will have 8 options per session. And there's 4 sessions per day. And many people will still tell us, or is it 8 or 6? Normally we have 8. I think this year we're having 6. But even that will seem like a lot because there's such each topic you hit on, you think, oh, I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Mhm.
But the key is if you don't hear what you want to hear, we also have an amazing audio team that comes and we'll be recording the entire convention that you can take home as a convention bundle. So you have that.
Let's talk about that for a second since you brought it up because we have Resounding Voice coming back.
Yep.
which is great because last year they did our convention and we didn't miss a single session. They recorded everything.
Yep.
And in years past, there were problems with different recordings from time to time when we'd miss a session. And that was very disappointing to us because we want to give you everything. And the nice thing about Resounding Voice is, well, tell us a little bit about Resounding Voice.
Resounding Voice, actually, so Josh Erber was his father's the one I believe that started the business. He is a second generation homeschooler, and he's been doing it now for 20 years. In fact, Arizona was his first conference that he led the Resounding Voice team himself, because I was there when they were celebrating him.
Wow.
And if you go to their booth, it's family run. Usually a couple of his daughters are there with him. It's just really neat to be able to bless a homeschooling family that's doing a ministry for the other homeschoolers. And I truly
Totally.
believe him working in the audio business is a ministry for the homeschoolers.
Yeah. And it's a blessing to MACHÉ because now we can focus on other things and not have to worry about the recording part of it, which is so good because none of us are techs that way. So it helps
Exactly.
us out too. But so you would be ordering directly from Resounding Voice. And I like how you say it, Karen. You say, take your weekend with you, like keep it going. So if
Mhm.
you order now, because you can order the bundles ahead of time, pre-order, correct?
When registration opens, it will be an option on your registration form that you can order the bundle up front. Yes.
That's so good that you can just take it home with you from the MACHÉ convention. It's ready to go for you when you leave, and you can just take it and have it with you so that if you do have like those workshops that you missed, but you really didn't want to miss but you had to take this math one, but you really wanted to listen to this one over here about reading or whatever, or special needs or discipleship or something, you can do both. You can do it all. It's fine. And you can start with the registration. So let's talk about registration. Karen, when does registration open?
Registration opens Monday, February 23rd.
Yay!
And it will, I guess I will feed into registration opens February 23rd. Then we will have that run as our early bird pricing until April 20th. So that's
Mm.
just about 8 weeks ish that it will run as our early bird. Every year, someone comes up and says they missed the early bird. And I'm just kind of making it audible that it is a full 2 months time that
Mhm.
it will be open at the best price that you can possibly get for registration. If you are a member, so the early bird is already discounted. So it'll be a
Mhm.
discount over late registration, which is also the on-site registration.
Mhm.
But in addition to it being a discounted price, if you are a MACHÉ member, this year we have discounted at 25%. In the past, it's been a
Wow.
20% discount. This year it will be a 25% discount. And very quickly you make back your MACHÉ membership funding just in maybe 1 or 2 kids going to teen track, you and your husband coming to the convention. So it does pay for itself very, very quickly, and it helps you get the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, it
Starting on
is.
April 21st, when we start the late registration, we will no longer have any discounts available. So including your membership. If you're a member and you want to get the discount, you want to register by April 20th, because
Yeah.
April 21st, your membership will not kick in and give you that 25% discount. So I try
Yeah.
to repeat that a few times.
You have from February 23rd to April 20th to get the best bang for your buck. This is when
Correct.
you want to do all your registration on the registration form for convention this year. If you are not a MACHÉ member and you would like that additional 25% discount, you can actually click on a box in the membership form that will get you to sign up as a MACHÉ member and get that additional 25% discount, which
In the
is a blessing.
registration form.
Yes, in the registration form. And the thing that's nice, you guys, okay, I'm just going to stop off of convention for a second, but a MACHÉ membership, we talked about this just briefly, why you come to your state org convention. MACHÉ, we are run by volunteers. We don't have offices. We don't, it's very much money that comes into MACHÉ is, yeah, because here I am in my living room. Money comes into MACHÉ and we take it and we put that money immediately towards protecting homeschool freedoms, equipping homeschool families, and inspiring homeschool families. And so maybe you come to Leadership Weekend. We don't have to up our costs crazy because we don't have a lot of overhead. So we try to keep things as cheap as we can. Our convention prices are as low as they can get, and still be able to run a convention in this day and age. If you look at other organizations, their costs are actually much higher than ours. And so it's just a blessing that we are able to pass that on to you. And how we can protect, inspire, and equip is because you do the 5250 a year, just 1 year for your
Whole
MACHE
family.
membership for the whole family. It just includes everything. With that, you get your 25% discount on the convention, plus you get 2 really good discounts, a 20% discount on Heritage Defense, and another 20% discount on your membership for HSLDA, and we'll talk about that in another podcast. But just so you're aware, you get a lot for it, and you wind up making money on the MACHE membership, to be honest. When you really look at the discounts that you wind up making some money on that. So that's a good thing. And then it benefits us, and it benefits ultimately homeschoolers in Minnesota who would like to keep homeschooling as governmentless as possible, so we can just keep doing what we're doing. All right, so now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Okay. When is convention? Give us the dates.
February 29th and 30th.
No, May 29th and 30th.
May 29th and 30th. And it's going to be in Arden Hills, Minnesota, in North Heights Lutheran Church. And if you were with us in 2022, we were at that same location.
Yep. So we meet in Arden Hills, which is north of the Twin Cities. It's kind of a nice area. There's trees around. I mean, it's very different. So you can feel confident and safe coming there for your MACHE convention, bringing your children, your family with you.
Parking is free. Parking is right there at the church.
Yes.
You don't need
finally a place with free parking.
Right. And you don't need to store your books and your purchases and your strollers. You've got your car right there that everything can stay by your car, because it's just a couple of steps and you're there.
Yep, it's so true. Okay, so let's talk about keynote speakers. All right, why don't you give us an idea of who our keynotes are?
So if you've been following us, we did report on it last year, just kind of a little nugget for this year. Our 2 keynote speakers is Dr. Kathy Cook with Celebrate Kids and Israel Wayne with Family Renewal. Many people probably have heard of Israel Wayne. Some people may or may not have heard of Dr. Kathy Cook. I will say I've known of Kathy Cook since, it goes back years and years and years ago when I would go to Rochester for the Hearts at Home conference. She was one of the speakers back then. And I was just really taken by how biblically sound she is and what she has to encourage parents in parenting and how to navigate the world we have today with a Christian worldview. So
yeah, she's pretty
great keynotes.
And then, I'm looking forward to both of them. I think they're both going to be amazing. And I think that both of them bring such different things. So I love that about our keynotes this year, is that they're both coming from very different perspectives. And I think you're going to just enjoy that from them. The other thing I want to talk about is some featured speakers. Just, you don't have to give us the whole rundown, but just give us a couple people that we can think that we're going to be listening to.
If you have children that you want to hear more on a special needs track, we have Pamela Gates coming. If you're familiar with one of our very own graduates, homeschool graduates, Given Hoffman will be there again this year. We have Apologia back in our exhibit hall this year. We're super excited. And
so
Dan
good.
Martin is going to be a featured speaker through Apologia. So you will be blessed. We have someone new this year called Lauren Roman, and she's actually going to be with Dr. Kathy Cook's Celebrate Kids booth. But she's going to be phenomenal. I met her for the first time at the Virginia conference and was really excited to talk to her. She has a book out that I actually purchased for one of my daughters. So I'm excited to have her this year.
That's exciting. Okay, so where can they find, if people are listening and they want to know, hey, it'd be fun to kind of go through and take a look at everything that's happening at the MACHE conference and who's going to be speaking and things like that. Where can we find some of that information?
Right on our website. If you go to homeschoolminnesota.org, you might still be able to get to us through the MACHE. If you go to mache.org, we have a new, refreshed, launched website. And if you go to the convention page, we have a page of all the speakers. And this year, for the first time, we actually have all of our guest speakers, our featured speakers, along with our worship team and some other special guests that are outlined on the speaker page. And then if you click on any one of the speakers, you get to know more about them. Their bio pops up. Anything you want to know convention is on the website. It each has its own designated page, like the exhibitor page. Click on any exhibitors there and it'll take you to their website if you want to know more about them. But you can also just scroll down and see if one of your favorite curriculum companies is going to be present. I know curriculum companies is always a key to coming to convention, because a lot of people are either trying a new curriculum or they need to buy some consumables, and you get your best discount usually at conventions with the
Yeah.
curriculum companies.
Yeah. The other place you can get it is the app. Now, I'm going to plug the app, okay, guys, because here's the thing about the app is it's great for convention. And the reason it's great is because we get emails like crazy. I sure would love to be able to print off the MACHE convention workshop pages so I can plan what I'm going to be doing. Do you know that you can just do that from the app without even having to print anything off and have one more thing to carry? You put it in your phone, which we all know y'all carry it with you anyway. You do admit it. It's real. It's a thing. I do. Anyways, and you can go through and you can see update because that is the first place that's going to be updated. If something changes, it's going to be updated in the app first. So that's good. That's number one reason to get the app. Number two reason is you can go through and look at Friday, what's happening on Friday, and you can go ahead and plan your weekend based on your app, and it'll highlight the ones that you already decided you wanted to see. You can order from the app any and now maybe I'm wrong on this one. Correct me if I'm wrong, Karen, but you can order any, like say there's two workshops you wanted to attend and they're at the same time. You can highlight the one that you're going to attend, but then you can order the sound um, from the other one, right?
You can, but so that would be on site. We will be doing the
Okay,
bundle as the pre-order, but
got
you
it.
can always order the single workshops at the booth for Resounding Voice.
Right. So you can you can just go ahead and do that. But you'll be able to see which ones are happening and when they're happening. If
Mhm.
something changes, which ultimately things change in the schedule because we're like, oh, that this happened, so we have to bump this to here or this room. This workshop is now going to be in this room instead of this room. And you will find that out in the app. That'll be where you're going to find that. And if you don't have it, you might going to want to, you're looking for the math one and you're sitting in the special needs one, which is not going to be helpful to you maybe. So you, you definitely want to get the app. So, and you can get that from homeschoolminnesota.org. And all the links are going to be in the description of this podcast. So don't freak out. Just get to the description. It'll get you to wherever you need to go.
When you do put
Okay.
the app on, just to kind of give a plug, make sure you put your notifications on,
Mm,
because one of the new features we have this year is that we can make notifications when, if you have made a favorite, if you've plugged the heart for your favorite workshop you want to attend, now you can get notifications that it's going to be starting in 15 minutes, something like that.
see.
It'll pop up on your screen and it'll remind you. You might be
Mhm.
having a great talk with your friend that you haven't seen in a year, and you think, oh, but I'm going to miss my workshop. So
Or you're
it'll
at
tell
an
you.
exhibitor shopping and you go, "Oh my gosh, time just got away from me looking at curriculum," because that would happen to me. All right. um, the other thing about the app is any other MACHE events are also on the app. And so it just you won't miss things throughout the year. College and Career Day, Leadership Weekend, graduation, Capital Day, all of it's on the app. So it's just a good thing to have. It's a good thing to have. Okay, so we've covered all of that. Let's talk about Teen Track. Do you want to
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about Teen Track? What's going on there?
We are super excited. So this year we are going to have
Yeah.
Worldview Academy is coming back, and you probably have heard the name Worldview Academy now circulating. They're actually partnering with us in many
Mhm.
different avenues. We've got a 3-part free webinar series that's going on. So if you haven't heard about it, if you're hearing about it first here, go on to our homeschoolminnesota.com or .org and check out. I think it's on there. Is it on there, Dale?
I
Notification
don't
for
think
that?
the webinar is on there,
Okay.
but the information for Teen Track is on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, so we're gonna do you'll have 8 sessions for your teen, 13 to 18 is the age bracket, and it's gonna be a blessing. All of our children,
Yeah.
we have 6 kids, and all of them have been to Worldview Academy multiple summers in a row. Can't say enough great things about them. They are such a solid biblical worldview, and your kids learn to be even more confident in approaching the world and being able to stand true to what they believe in. So
Mhm.
the Del Cook and Mike Schutt are our 2 speakers that will be presenting in
Yeah.
the teen track. You don't wanna miss that.
And they're just a lot of fun, I gotta
Mhm.
say. And these guys, like Karen said, they're super biblical in their worldview. But the thing that I like about it is it's geared towards teenagers, and so they want they're going to talk to your kids in a way that they're going to love and they're going to understand, and it's going to relate to them. And their information is practical. It's not just like okay, well, what about this or what about that? It's like no, from day to day, this is what worldview, how it affects your life.
Mm.
This is the way that you can walk through your life and still hold on to your Christian worldview and what that looks like. And how do you relate that to others, even those who don't have the same worldview as you then? So what do you do with that? They're going to give you all of that. It's just great information. If you haven't brought your kid to Teen Track in the past, this would be a really good one to start with. I think they're going to enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a good one.
Absolutely.
So let's talk exhibitors. This is like the fun part, the shopping, all the fun stuff.
We have what's kind of exciting. So I'll just tell you some of the new things or not
Mhm.
so new that we are going to have back this year.
Yeah.
Miller's Pad and Paper, if you've ever been before, Miller's Pad and Paper is like eye candy for homeschoolers. It's got
Yeah.
everything you'd want to know in terms of pads of paper and pens and crafty things, and it's always a favorite of homeschoolers. And they, because of schedule conflicts, haven't been able to be with us in the last 2 years. So we've got them back this year. We're super excited to have
Yay.
them. Chuck Black is back this year. He also has had a schedule conflict, so we've kind of missed him. He was always a very tried and true stationary vendor for us each year. And Apologia, we haven't had Apologia Science in our uh, convention center, I guess, since 2022 when
When
Sherry
we were
Self
last
came
at
as a
North
speaker.
Heights. Mhm.
Yeah, she was the last speaker to come with the Apologia curriculum. Just kind of a side note to that, and I do understand how the curriculum companies have changed since COVID and how their business model has changed.
They've
For
had
many
to.
of you that will provide feedback that we don't have certain exhibitors in our exhibit hall, they have changed. Some of them don't travel to conventions anymore. Some of them only travel to some of the big, what we call the big box conventions,
Yeah.
and I don't need to name those.
No.
And some of them, it's more of a they need to have a speaker available in order to come and have curriculum. We had Andrew Poudois a couple years ago, and he was able to bring his IEW curriculum and share that with us. So just so that you know, it's not that we're not hearing your feedback and we aren't trying to get those exhibitors that you're requesting in the exhibit hall. It really is a matter of what their business model is and how they're working to sell their curriculum
Yep.
nowadays.
And we're always trying to get new people in the exhibit hall as well. So people that maybe you don't even know, that maybe they don't they themselves. There's two publishers in particular that I'm thinking of that they themselves don't even see themselves as homeschooling curriculum or homeschool publishers, and I'm like, you actually are, and I'm trying to sell it to them. So hopefully next year, you guys, you'll see them in the convention hall, and trust me, when you see them, you'll be like, where have you guys been all my life? Because they really are homeschool publishers.
And we have a company that's with us this year. I think it's called Woodsy Wild. Does that ring a
Mm,
bell? I believe and they're new with us this year. And then of course we have our tried and true.
yeah,
Hefner's Legacy will be there. They have a little bit of everything at their booth.
yeah,
I know everyone's very familiar with them.
yeah.
We have Right Start Math, and we have uh, Portals will be with us. I mean, a lot of the ones that have been with us for years will be back
Yeah.
with us again this
Yep.
year.
Yep. And can we talk about our two main sponsors, our keynote sponsors for the MACHÉ convention?
So our keynote sponsors this year is Abeka and BJU, both of
Okay.
which have phenomenal curriculum. Our family has used a little bit of both over the years.
Yep.
And so each one of them has a specific day. Abeka is our Friday keynote sponsor, and BJU is our Saturday keynote sponsor. So we're excited with them. We have about 10 sponsors overall. NCFCA, which is the National Speech and Debate Organization, will be our
Mhm.
lanyard sponsor. You'll see their tags on our lanyards this year.
Yeah.
And our teen track is UNW and Portals. And then we have a plethora of missional partners with us that
Mhm.
are here to serve homeschoolers and the mission of homeschooling. So we're
We
excited and
just
grateful to all of them.
We're so blessed in Minnesota to have so many people that just come alongside us. I mean, we've just had, I think about like even Leadership Weekend we just had a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and how BJU Press came alongside and just they sent us our keynote speaker. They sent us finances to be able to up the goodie bag thing. And, it's just amazing how these companies that you all, our listeners, use for curriculum and things like that, they pour back into the community, you guys. So when you see them at the MACHÉ convention, you see that they're a sponsor, thank them. Thank them, because that's how they know that it's worth it to them. Thank them by just saying, thank you so much for investing in our family, because that's what they're doing. They're investing in your family. Through this. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Friday night, not a whole lot because there's some stuff that we want to roll out slow, but let's talk a little bit about Friday night, the Freedom Concert. Do you
Well,
want to
Dale,
do you
let's
want me to
talk
talk
about
about
that. I was going to say, well,
it?
I know that I have 2 wonderful coordinators that are working on that event, so they're the ones who know
Mhm.
more about it. We won't say too much about that right now, just to say that we have a Friday event that's gonna be suitable for all of your family, your entire family, and
Yes.
it's going to theme around the 250th anniversary of our country.
Yeah.
So just give you that little, plug for it and know that it is going to be included as part of your registration fee.
It's
Um,
not a
we
special it's not a
probably will
special fee.
we may do a free will offering for who it is that's going to be presenting to us.
Mhm.
But we'll know more details on that as they become available to us. We will share them with you.
And you guys are gonna wanna come because we've got some really fun things planned. My friend, Tammy and I are planning it, and, it's never a dull moment when Tammy are in charge, apparently, who knew? But, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, I'm excited about it, and like Karen said, it's included in registration this year, so no excuses. You're gonna wanna be there, you're not gonna wanna miss it. Let's talk a little bit about used curriculum sale, which is a pre-con thing. This is kind of a thing that we brought back after many years of like, where's the
Mhm.
used curriculum sale? And we do listen and we do try to make it work, but we always have to also think about who's going to run the used curriculum sale. Karen, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it is going to be Thursday as
Mhm.
our exhibitors are coming in and setting up. We will be running the used curriculum sale during that time. The used curriculum sellers will be coming in the morning, and then
Uh-huh.
the curriculum sale will be on the 27th or the 28th,
8th.
Thursday, the 28th, from noon until 5. So you'll want to stop by door C at North Heights and come in, and you'll be directed exactly where to go for the used curriculum sale. I will say that the used curriculum sale has always been highlights for most people. If
Mhm.
you're like me, you come with your list of, what price I can get on Amazon, what price I can get at Rainbow Resources, what price at Christian book distributors. And then I have my column in if I can find it even better at the used curriculum sale. So
Yeah.
I have always kind of come with that in mind because I'm usually looking for something. With 6 kids, there was always something you wanted to kind of buy in the used curriculum that was well
Yeah.
loved, but you didn't want to necessarily pay full price for it. So
Yeah.
we've heard nothing but great things for the last 2 years. This will be our 3rd year with it back in.
Yeah. And if you're
Mm.
listening and you're like, man, my husband is telling me I got to get rid of some of this curriculum, you can be in the used curriculum sale. How can they do that, Karen?
So if you go to the website, there's actually a page
Hmm.
for used curriculum. It has a link that you're going to want to just go on and register to be a seller. It's $50 a table and it's all lined up for you. Annie Miles is our coordinator and she will get in touch with you and tell you everything that you need to know. Tables will be provided, chairs will be provided.
Hmm.
You would just need, if you wanted a tablecloth for it, otherwise it'll be a plain table without a tablecloth on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely register. A lot of people are waiting to register with their registration to kinda add them together,
Mhm.
but we've already sold a number of tables, so
Yeah, the more the merrier, you guys. I mean, we love it when the used curriculum sale rolls out, and it is a good way this day and age, if you can get it at a discount, so much better. And, I remember one person, was saying that they couldn't believe that most of what they needed, they were able to find at the used curriculum sale, and that's just such a blessing. So, yep, it's the Thursday you have to come down on Thursday anyway because convention starts early Friday morning, so just come down a little extra early and get there for the used curriculum sale. And is there a cost to be a part of that?
to come
To
as
shop?
a purchaser, no, it's free. So you'll
Yep,
just come in and you'll
you just get
come
to
right
show up.
into the we haven't decided. In last year we did wristbands because again, part of the church will be filling up with exhibitors and they're going to be loading in. So we want to try to keep the separation between the
Yeah,
used curriculum attendees and allowing our vendors to get in and have their time to set up so they'll be ready to greet everybody on Friday morning. We just haven't decided how we're going to do that. But again, it'll be on the second level, door C. It's going to be in the
mhm,
chapel when you arrive.
so good. Okay, we have a very special thing that's happening on Friday. Y'all, you don't have to worry about lunch because lunch is going to be provided. Karen, tell us who's feeding us this year at convention for everybody that's at convention.
So once again, and this was a highlight for us in 2022,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A has come along as what we call our food sponsor. They will be
Yeah.
supplying our lunch for us. And if you were here in 2022, we had huge lines of people. They had 5 restaurants that were cooking for us. And then they carted it all. So the food was still hot when it arrived to
Yeah, it
us.
was so
We
good.
even had leftovers at the end that I was carting around asking people if they wanted even more. But we are super blessed because
Mhm.
I know every year some families don't know what to do for lunch and they don't know the area very well or to know whether they can get to this restaurant and get back in time for the afternoon sessions. So we're just super thankful and blessed that Chick-fil-A has partnered with us again this year and they're going to be providing our lunch for Friday.
Well, and you don't have to leave the site, so you can eat lunch and then go shopping at the exhibit
Exactly.
hall. So that's perfect. Um, and who doesn't love Chick-fil-A? I don't know. I've not met anybody yet who doesn't love Chick-fil-A. Okay, so now as we're wrapping through things, tell me if there's anything that I forgot that you wanted to talk about, Karen.
The only thing I would still mention is we also have our silent auction, another one of those items
Right.
that was a new item that came back into existence 2 years ago, and we
Mhm.
will have it once again. It's an in-person silent auction in that the products are in person, but it's all done online through Better World. We have our own little webpage on Better World, and if you've been part of it before, honestly, it is a phenomenon. And
Yeah.
our coordinator, Tammy Irion, we'll talk about how at the very end of convention, as you're getting closer to the silent auction closing, where people have just been kind of waiting their time because they want to outbid the next person so that it goes off just in time that no one else can outbid them. So it's kind of funny how the numbers start to rack up. But again, it's a huge blessing to Minnesota as an MACHE as an organization,
Yes.
because the funds that come in, again, as well as everything else, the funds that come in during silent auction are funds that help run they help do the podcast, the funding for the ministry and the technology for the podcast. They help with
Mhm.
going to the legislature, a number of things that we're able to bring to you, having a refreshed website. All of
Yeah.
that does take funding, and we don't, again, we don't have that if we don't have people that
Right.
donate in the silent auction or donate to the cause
Right.
year round.
If you've had a mache speaker come to your event, and we don't charge for that, we just come, that helps pay for offset the cost a little bit, so that we can come and we can be a part of whatever event it is that you're doing. Mache helps cover some of that cost for the speakers so that they don't have to do an outlay of cash or whatever for themselves. So yeah, all of that is covered under membership fees and silent auction and different things like that we do. Um, yeah. Karen, look at that.
Well,
I can't believe we're done. Oh, now it's gonna be next year before we can talk about the next one. I'm excited. I just want to publicly thank Karen and her team. And let me tell you, it's a team. They've been working since, I mean, she's already working on 2027. It's not like she just is like, okay, let's get 2026 wrapped up. No, she's already working on 2027. So it's a year-long thing. It happens every day. Her whole life is not her whole life is wrapped up in it, but, this is what she does because she loves homeschooling families in Minnesota, and, I mean, it's just such a blessing. If you have not been to a MACHE convention, this is a really good one to start with. It really is because it's a little bit more intimate than, like, at a big convention center, so it's a good one to kinda get your feet wet, and then next year, you get the big convention center again, so, I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Karen. I don't even know how we could even thank you enough for all the work that you put in. I see it because I work with you and I get to see it. But and I think I don't even know, the amount of hours that you and your team put into making things just so important. One other way that you all can help is they do need volunteers. I'm going to put the information in the description of this podcast, but we are looking for people who have attended a convention before because we don't want to
mm,
take you away from your first convention. And you kind of need to see how things run in order to volunteer at it. But we're looking for, different volunteers for doing different things. We need security. We need hosts and hostesses for the different rooms, all different kinds of
mentor
things.
moms.
Yeah, mentor moms for the mentoring booth. If you're able to volunteer, you or your husband, your teenagers, if they're not going to be doing teen track, if they want to help the day before and help load in and then after teen track outload, we could use
Yep,
some really good,
that would
strong
be
young
great.
backs for that. Um,
Yep.
so there's just a lot that could be done. We just need volunteers, and you get to get in for free, correct?
Yes. So
If
if
you're
you
volunteer.
volunteer and that information is also on the website, go to the volunteer page.
Mhm.
Will be screened through our volunteer
Volunteer
coordinator,
coordinator.
Cindy Kravick, and then she will pass your name to whoever whoever needs you, whichever team is really shorthanded. In
Yeah.
addition, that's a very good point you raised, Dale, is that you do want to volunteer before you register. It
Yes.
makes it far easier for us to have you get the coupon code to discount your registration fee when you go to register than it is when you've already registered and then we have to do, cut checks in terms of
Yes.
reimbursement and that. So
Reimbursing.
by all means, please wait until you've gotten your volunteer coupon code and then go to register.
Yeah. So register, like go in, and if you're thinking, no, I want to go this year, I really do, but I would like to help out, or my kids would like to help out, or my husband who doesn't really care about going to workshops, but he has the weekend off. And I heard you guys need security. We do need security. It is important that we have security because we would like you all to feel very, very secure and safe. And we would like to make sure that the people who are there are should be there. And so we just want to ask you to step up a little bit if you can. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for volunteering. And for those of you who have volunteered year after year, you keep it going, guys. Thank you so much. So Karen, thank you
Thanks,
for
Dale.
all that you do. Thank you for doing it and homeschooling your kids at the same time. Yeah, you're a homeschool mom, just like a lot of people. I'm not anymore.
Down
So
to my last. She graduates this
she
May.
graduates this year, and her husband, actually, Karen's husband, also runs the MACHE graduation. So they're a MACHE family. That's what they do. If you happen to see Karen at the MACHE convention, thank her. Thank her for what she does. Thank all the team, the registration people, the people running the exhibit hall. There's so many people behind the scenes that do things that we just can't even begin to imagine, but we're just so grateful. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Karen, for serving. And we hope to see you on May 29th and 30th in Arden Hills at North Heights Lutheran Church for the MACHE Convention 2026.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you there. Bye.